Good evening everybody and welcome to Will on Safety. It's Toolbox Talk Tuesday, so for today's Toolbox Talk, or this evening's Toolbox Talk I should say, what I thought I'd cover is tips for Halloween. So a bit of Halloween safety. We are in the midst of Halloween, it's coming up, that's going to mean trick-or-treating and all that type of stuff for your little horrors to get out, do a bit of trick-or-treating, collect those sweets and stuff. So this Toolbox Talk is going to cover three aspects. So first aspect being costume safety, second aspect, when your little horrors or little cherubs are out on the prowl doing their trick-and-treating, and thirdly, safety tips even for motorists that are kicking about over the sort of Halloween festive period. So first, let's get into it then. A bit on costume safety. A lot of this is going to be common sense, but it is good as a refresher. So first thing, all costumes, wigs, accessories, etc., make sure that they are fire retardant. Secondly, if children are allowed out after dark, the nights are drawing in now, sort of 5:30, 6 p.m. Yeah, it's becoming pretty dark. So make sure they've got sort of reflective either costumes, send them out with the glow sticks or the little glow bracelets or something like that. That would be ideal to make them more visible. Number three, so rather than Halloween masks, which can obstruct vision, especially small children, masks can be quite small sometimes, so they're not always going to be a good fit for everybody's face. Why not opt for sort of non-toxic face painting instead? And it's good because you can make it your own, get your mum and dad, or, if you are the mum and dad, you can really make your kids up to look, pretty scary and horrible if that's what you're going for. Always obviously test the makeup before you put it onto them in a small area just to see if any irritation develops. Next up then, when they're back home, obviously remember to remove that makeup before they go to bed. That'll just stop any skin or eye irritation. So the next lot of tips then are for when your little horrors, your little cherubs, whatever they're dressing up as, are out on the prowl then, kicking about, doing their trick-or-treating, getting them sweets and nice sweet treats, etc. from folks. First one is, responsible adult or an older person should accompany young children when they're kicking about the sort of neighbourhood, around the estates or wherever they might be. Just somebody that can be responsible, make sure everybody's together. Next up, if your older children are going alone, just make sure you plan their route, make sure it's acceptable to you, and they're not going to go off-piste. Agree a specific time when children should be back. So agree a sort of index of the trick-or-treating and make sure they're home for that time. Just emphasise and reiterate to them it's important you're back by this time. That way I'm not going to get worried. I'm not going to start sending out a search party or calling people to come out and go look for you. Okay. Next one is a massive one. Make sure your kids know never, ever, ever sort of enter a stranger's home. Even if it's like, great aunties are a bit of a poor example, but, even if it's a neighbour that you sort of know in passing, it's a no-no. Just stay at the door, never go inside anybody's home you don't know. Obviously, make sure they're well aware of that and they're going to comply with that. Next, instruct children to travel on familiar, well-lit areas only and stick with their friends. Don't go wandering off. Don't be that lone ranger that's just going to kick about to the old scary house because you think it'll be a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun at the same time. Stick in the groups you're in. Don't go alone. And tell your kids not to eat those treats until you get back. And the reason for this really is so as the parents, we can go through those sweets. We can make sure whatever they've collected is obviously good for them. You don't know what people are giving them. Generally, it's going to be sweets and things like that. I mean, there could be something untoward in there, but I'm more thinking from the sort of allergy front. You know, maybe you've got a child that's allergic to nuts, maybe there's a few nut-based treats in there. You just want to make sure that whatever you're allowing your children to eat, it's not going to cause them any harm. And then finally then, tips for motorists. So yeah, whilst we're not going to be out trick-or-treating, if you're whizzing about in your car, we need to be aware that people are out and about. So a couple of tips for motorists then. Watch for children walking on roadways and curbs, etc. Yeah, just take more care. Slow things down a bit. Yeah, you know we're in the season of trick-or-treating and stuff. People may well be dressed in dark clothing. We've got to be more hyper-aware. Enter and exit driveways and alleys carefully. Again, we don't know where kids are. They might be dressed, you know, dark. We need to take that extra care. We need to have that due attention when we're in our motor vehicles. So make sure we're doing that. At twilight and later in the evening, watch for children in dark clothing. Ideally, there being something light so you can see them, but this isn't always the case. So just take that care. Make sure, you know, we're just hyper aware of, you know, that it is silly season, as I like to call it, or Halloween, as others like to call it, and just take that extra time, take that extra opportunity for awareness. And finally, discourage new inexperienced drivers from driving on Halloween. Inexperienced drivers are likely to take a few more risks, and it can cause then issues and potentially lead to a pretty serious accident with children that are trick-or-treating. I thought I'd make it topical this evening. I hope you found this video entertaining. I hope you've enjoyed it. You might be able to see I've got two, like, I don't know, lights in my glasses. It's not a Halloween costume, I promise you. It's just that I've got a new ring light that I'm testing out, a bit of a new setup that I thought I'd trial. So with that, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I try and upload at least sort of twice a week. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That's going to inform you whenever I post new content, like I say, at least twice weekly. And if you find these videos interesting, you think others might benefit from joining the Will on Safety community, please share this content with your friends, families, work colleagues, or anybody else you think might find this sort of content interesting. But that's it for this evening. So remember, folks, stay safe by choice and not by chance. Hope you all have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye for now.